They want you angry before you even blink. They want you arguing in the comments before the video hits the halfway mark. Because right now, WWE is sitting on a powder keg of rumors, accusations, and career-ending crossroads, and fans are being told to just wait and see. Nah, we're talking about it now. Let's start with the one lighting the internet on fire: Triple H and Io Sky. No, there is no confirmed wrongdoing, but that hasn't stopped NSFW accusations and shady whispers from spreading like wildfire. Private messages? Power imbalance claims? Screenshots that exist but never seem to fully surface? Here's the real question: if there's nothing there, why hasn't this been shut down cleanly and publicly? And if there is something there, how long before WWE goes full lockdown mode again? Ask yourself this: should fans be held hostage by silence, or does silence make it worse? Comment this: do rumors deserve daylight, or should they die in the dark? And just when you think things can't get messy, Vince McMahon's name is back in the conversation. Not front and center, not officially announced, but hovering. The same man whose shadow never really left. Insiders say no return, others say don't be surprised. History tells us one thing: where there's smoke, Vince usually isn't far behind it. Would WWE actually risk the backlash? Or does power eventually ignore public outrage? Be honest, if Vince came back tomorrow, would you stop watching? Now let's talk about a man who should be celebrating a legendary legacy: Batista. Instead, we've got a bad update. Health concerns, Hollywood uncertainty, and whispers that his in-ring story might be closing on a far quieter note than anyone expected. No farewell match, no grand send-off, just reality crashing the party. Is it better to walk away quietly, or does a legend deserve one last moment in the spotlight? Drop your take below. And finally, this one hurts. A former WWE champion is reportedly done, finished. No contract talks, no comeback plans, just gone. Whether it's injuries, politics, or the machine simply moving on, it's a brutal reminder in WWE. Yesterday's main event is today's afterthought. So here's the question nobody wants to answer: is loyalty in wrestling dead, or was it never real to begin with? This isn't just gossip. This is a pressure test. On leadership, on transparency, on how much fans are willing to swallow before they finally push back. Share this with the one friend who always says it's all fake drama. And tell me which of these stories explodes first? Because the scary part isn't just what is being said, it's how familiar this all feels. WWE fans have seen this movie before. The quiet weeks, the vague statements, the internal review, and then suddenly boom, someone disappears from TV, a storyline gets rewritten overnight, and we're told to move on like nothing happened. So let me ask you this: when was the last time WWE told the whole truth without being forced to? Back to Triple H for a second, because this isn't just about one rumor, it's about trust. Triple H is the guy many fans crowned as the savior of WWE, the creative genius, the clean break from the Vince era. But what happens if even a fraction of these NSFW accusations turn out to be real? Does the pedestal crumble instantly, or do fans defend him no matter what? Be real with yourself: are some people too powerful to cancel in wrestling? And don't forget, Io Sky is being dragged into this storm whether she wants it or not. That's the ugliest part. Careers can be damaged just by association, especially when the internet decides guilt before facts. So here's a tough one: should WWE pull talent off TV to protect them, or does that just make them look guilty? Now circle back to Vince McMahon, because his potential return isn't just a rumor, it's a threat to everything WWE claims to be now. Endeavor, TKO, corporate responsibility, all those buzzwords mean nothing if the past walks back through the door. And let's be honest, Vince doesn't return quietly. If he comes back, heads roll, plans change, and favorites re-emerge. So ask yourself, would modern WWE survive another Vince power grab, or would fans finally revolt for real this time? And while all this chaos swirls at the top, legends are quietly fading out. Batista's situation is heartbreaking because it reminds us that time is undefeated. No matter how jacked you are, no matter how iconic your theme music hits, one day the body says we're done, and wrestling doesn't always give you closure. Do you think WWE owes its legends a proper goodbye, or is wrestling just a what have you done lately business? Which brings us back to that former WWE champion who's reportedly finished. No farewell tour, no Hall of Fame announcement, just silence. And silence in wrestling usually means one thing: you've already been replaced. New toys, new stars, new narratives. So here's the brutal question: how fast do you think WWE forgets its champions once the belt is off them? This is why fans are angry. Not because of one rumor or one update, but because it feels like history repeating itself. Smoke, silence, damage control, repeat. And yet, we're still here, watching, commenting, arguing, caring. So maybe the biggest question of all is this: are fans part of the problem, or the only reason the problem ever gets exposed? Sound off in the comments. Share this video if you're tired of pretending everything's fine. And stay locked in because in WWE, the next headline is always one bad secret away from exploding. And here's where it gets even darker because none of this exists in a vacuum. WWE isn't just reacting to rumors, it's reacting to fan memory. Fans remember what happened when stories like this were ignored before. Fans remember who was protected, who was sacrificed, and who was quietly erased. That's why every vague tweet, every cancelled appearance, every creative change gets dissected like a crime scene. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. Do you trust WWE's explanations anymore, or do you automatically assume there's more they're hiding? Look at how fast narratives shift. 1 week, someone's untouchable. The next, they're under review. That's why the Triple H conversation hits harder than people want to admit. Because if the man at the very top isn't questioned, then nobody is. And questioning doesn't mean condemning, it means refusing to be blindly loyal. So answer honestly, is fan loyalty earned or manipulated? And while fans are arguing online, WWE keeps moving. Storylines roll on, new stars get pushed, old ones fade into highlight reels. Batista's update stings because it exposes the lie we all tell ourselves that legends get to leave on their own terms. Most don't. They leave injured, tired, or forgotten. So here's a painful one. How many legends do you think WWE used up before the fans even noticed? Now think about that former WWE champion again. Imagine going from main eventing WrestleMania to radio silence. No announcement, no appreciation post, just gone. That's not just business, that's a message. A reminder that in this industry, the crown is rented, not owned. Do you think WWE should honor former champions more publicly, or does that hurt the push for the next big thing? And looming over everything is that same ghost, Vince McMahon. Even when he's not involved, his presence changes the temperature of the room. Executives tense up, talent watches their backs, fans brace for impact. So let's get brutally real. Is WWE capable of truly moving forward as long as Vince's shadow exists at all? This is why Ring Rumble exists. Not to spoon-feed headlines, but to ask the questions nobody wants asked. To say the quiet part out loud. To remind people that wrestling isn't just scripted punches, it's real power, real money, and real consequences. So before you scroll away, drop your answers. Which story worries you the most? Who do you think is being protected? And what do you think finally breaks this cycle? Fans speaking louder or fans finally walking away? Because one thing is certain, this situation isn't cooling down, it's heating up. And the next move WWE makes might change everything. And that's the part nobody wants to admit out loud. The cycle only survives because nothing ever truly snaps it in half. Every time fans think, this is it, this is the moment accountability finally wins, something shifts. A distraction, a surprise return, a massive PLE that resets the conversation. Outrage has an expiration date in wrestling, and WWE knows exactly how long it lasts. So here's a brutal question for you. Do scandals actually hurt WWE anymore, or have they become background noise? Because look at how fast attention moves. One rumor explodes, another replaces it. Triple H today, Vince tomorrow, someone else next week. And in between, careers hang in the balance. Real people, real reputations, real futures. That's why the NSFW chatter, true or not, is dangerous. Not because fans are talking, but because power decides who gets defended and who gets exposed. Ask yourself this: if this involved a lower-level executive instead of Triple H, would the response be the same? And let's talk about the locker room for a second. Imagine being talent right now. Imagine watching legends quietly fade, champions vanish, and executives dodge questions. Do you feel safe? Do you feel protected? Or do you feel replaceable? Because wrestling history tells us one thing: when chaos hits the top, the bottom pays first. So here's a comment question that matters. Do you think today's WWE locker room trusts management? Batista's situation hits differently when you view it through that lens. A man who gave his body to the business, walked away, reinvented himself, and still can't escape the physical cost. Wrestling doesn't just take your youth, it collects interest. And when the bill comes due, the machine has already moved on. Should WWE do more to protect wrestlers long term, or is that just impossible in this industry? And that former WWE champion? That silence around their status is louder than any announcement. Because WWE loves celebrating history when it's convenient, when it fits the brand, when it doesn't complicate the present. So here's the uncomfortable truth: WWE doesn't erase people, it waits for fans to forget them. Do you think that's strategic or cold? Now zoom out even further. WWE isn't just a wrestling company anymore, it's a corporate giant. Stockholders, media partners, image management. That changes everything. Transparency becomes optional, statements become carefully worded, and fans become metrics. Engagement, retention, outrage, clicks. So ask yourself this: are fans being listened to or studied? Because every angry comment still boosts the algorithm, every heated debate still spreads the video, even this one, and WWE knows that. So maybe the real power struggle isn't between executives, it's between fans and their own attention. Can outrage still be effective if it's profitable? That's why I want you to answer this honestly in the comments. What would WWE have to do for you to actually walk away? Not complain, not tweet, not argue, walk away. Because if the answer is nothing, then maybe that's the scariest update of all. Stay loud, stay critical, and don't let silence tell the story for you, because in wrestling, silence is never